BPM praise, worship songs, inspirational Bible verses, food for souls, streamer. Like, share, subscribe.
God's Omniscience verse. Psalm 139, 1:4 is a profound passage that reflects on God's omniscience's all-knowing nature and his intimate awareness of every detail in a person's life. The text, NIV, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways before a word is on my tongue. You, Lord, know it completely." Here's a breakdown of its significance and context. Key themes and insights. God's omniscience. The psalmist begins by acknowledging that God has searched them, meaning God has examined their life with complete understanding. This emphasizes God's infinite knowledge, where every thought, action, and intention is already known to him. The reference to God knowing is not just intellectual knowledge, but a deeper relational understanding. God's knowledge isn't detached. It is personal and all-encompassing. God's awareness of every action. The psalmist acknowledges that God knows when they sit and when I rise, which speaks to the most basic, routine actions of daily life. It implies that there is nothing too small or insignificant that escapes God's notice. The phrase, "You perceive my thoughts from afar," highlights that God is aware of the innermost intentions of the heart, even when these thoughts are not yet expressed. God knows them in advance. Comprehensive knowledge of life. "You discern my going out and my lying down" refers to the rhythm of daily life, whether the psalmist is leaving their home or resting. God is fully aware. The term "all my ways" indicates that there is no aspect of the psalmist's life that is hidden from God. This thorough awareness is a comfort to those who believe, as it reassures them that God is always present, not just in moments of prayer or worship, but in the ordinary activities of life. God's knowledge of our words. Verse 4 presents a striking image. "Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely." This suggests that God not only understands our actions and thoughts, but he also knows our speech before we even speak. It points to God's anticipatory knowledge, underscoring the completeness of his awareness. Theological implications. God's immanence. The passage emphasizes God's closeness to his creation. He is not distant or detached, but deeply involved in the lives of his people. This is a reassuring thought for believers who can find comfort in the idea that God is intimately aware of their struggles, hopes, and desires. God's sovereignty. The verses point to God's total control and understanding of human life. There is no randomness in God's awareness. Every part of a person's life, from thoughts to actions to words, is known by him. This affirms God's supreme sovereignty and authority over all things. Comfort and accountability. For the believer, the knowledge that God is aware of everything can be both comforting and humbling. Comforting because God knows them fully and still loves them. Humbling because it reminds them that there is nothing hidden from God, which can lead to self-reflection and accountability. Invitation to intimacy. This passage invites believers into a deeper, more trusting relationship with God, knowing that God is always aware, and yet still loves unconditionally calls for honesty and openness in our relationship with him. It invites us to be transparent in our prayers and thoughts, knowing that God is already familiar with them. Application for believers. Reassurance. In times of loneliness or distress, Psalm 139, 1:4 can serve as a reminder that God is aware of your situation. Even when it feels like no one else is, you are fully known and loved by him. Humility. It encourages believers to live with a sense of accountability to God, acknowledging that nothing in their lives is hidden from his sight. Prayer and reflection. These verses can prompt a person to reflect on their thoughts, words, and actions, leading to a deeper examination of their relationship with God It can also deepen one's prayer life, knowing that God understands them completely before they even express their feelings. Summary: Psalm 139, 1:4 reveals the breathtaking truth that God is all-knowing, intimately familiar with every aspect of a person's life. His awareness encompasses our daily routines, thoughts, actions, and even words before they are spoken. This truth serves as both a comfort and a call to live authentically before God, with the assurance that He understands and loves us completely. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like for more.